Lonzo Ball almost failed. There was so much unfair hype coming out of UCLA. He had the weight of the Lakers on his 20-year-old shoulders. The Lakers giving up on him after just 2 seasons was the low point, and it looked like they completely blew that pick. Then, everything changed. All he's wanted was to find success. Well, this video explains how lucky Lonzo was to be traded to New Orleans, but how he could be on a 3rd NBA team next year. Yo, it's KC. This is AM Hoops. 2 member shoutouts. One is to Steven Shires, and the other one is to a guy named Big MF Anthony. But anybody watching this video can enter the AM Hoops NBA playoff prediction contest. The winner gets any t-shirt they want from the AM Hoops store. To enter the free contest, just join the email club. Link is in the description. Lonzo gave an interview with Shams Charania last week where he said this.
And individually, I think just being an all-star is definitely my next goal on the list. I think that should be coming up pretty soon.
Oh, so not only does he want to be an all-star, it's going to happen pretty soon. When Lonzo was traded to the Pelicans, that would have been funny. Now, it might actually happen. The Lakers traded Lonzo as a part of the Anthony Davis deal, of course, and it felt like his career could go either way when he got there. He could use it as a fresh start, or he could continue to become a bust. Lonzo had embarrassing nights all the time as a Laker, and that huge spotlight didn't help. The 2 big knocks on him were his confidence and his shot. Dude was awesome at UCLA, but shot 32% from downtown in purple and gold. Some people say, hey, the Lakers didn't give up on Lonzo. They were just trading for an MVP type player in Anthony Davis. Actually, they could have fought to keep Lonzo at least a little, like they did with Kyle Kuzma or Brandon Ingram, for the record, but they didn't. It must have been so depressing for the team that drafted you and the best player in the world to say, no thanks, we don't need him. It reminds me of being replaced at CBS Sports. The day I found out was one of the saddest days of my life. But without that, I would never have tried YouTube. And now, I wouldn't trade AM Hoops for what I had before. The exact same thing happened to Lonzo Ball. New Orleans has a shooting coach named Fredinson who helped him rebuild his shot and revive that potential.
He pretty much took me under his wing right when I got there. The first week, I think he let me shoot my way for like the first 2 days, and then he was just like, yo, that's what we're going to do. And then he slowly changed it, probably over a week. And then we just kept grinding and grinding to get where it is now. Well, what I had to do was change my shot basically, during the season, which was kind of rough at first because it just felt so awkward. But then, like I said, all the time and the reps go into it, and then you get the muscle memory down, and like you said, it starts going in and everything starts clicking.
Vincent worked with Lonzo and Brandon Ingram, so obviously the guy knows his stuff about shooting, but I think his really underrated skill is working with people. I mean, these NBA stars don't just take direction from anybody, but Vincent somehow convinces them that he can help. They must sense this guy really loves the game, and you can tell it if you just read his Wikipedia profile. He is a basketball junkie. After not making it in the league, he bounced around the world in some of the most random places, basically married to the game. 18 different teams as a player, but just 2 as a coach. Vincent may not have been like a keeper on the court, but on the sideline, teams do want to keep him. Now, Vincent has Lonzo looking like a future all-star. Another difference this year is those assist numbers. They're way down because Zion is now handling the ball and running point. No one debates, though, Zoe is an amazing passer, but now his ability to work without the ball makes you go,
Things that make you go,
This chart from 538 shows Lonzo's three-point shooting in different situations. The one that impresses me the most is catch and shoot. He's gone from just a point guard to a versatile guard who can play off the ball and hit threes off the catch at an elite level. In fact, last year he was so good at that, Zoe ranked better than Danilo Gallinari, Buddy Hield, and Duncan Robinson in his historic season on the catch and shoot. Pretty good for a guy who they called a bust, bricking shots as a Laker. My favorite part of all this improvement, though, has been Lonzo's confidence. Did you see him scream at Draymond Green the other night? Who's this guy? The old Lonzo would never have done that. I think hitting these shots and having the best year of his career after working with Fredinson is turning Zoe into a more confident person all around. Zoe has fixed his two main problems, being too passive and having a broken shot. There's no reason he can't be an all-star in the future. But what team will he play for? Now, it looked like he was done in NOLA after they couldn't come to a contract agreement before the season. Then, after a slow start, Zoe heated up and the Pels chose not to trade him at the deadline. That's a good sign. He'll be a restricted free agent now, which means that any team can offer Zoe, but the Pelicans have the right to match that and keep him if they want to. That seems like a no-brainer now, but the wild card here is the Pels are really cheap. Only them and the Hornets have never paid the luxury tax in NBA history. Josh Hart is also a free agent. I could see New Orleans letting Zoe walk if he gets a massive offer. Teams with cap space have to decide if Lonzo is worth it. I've got him as my number 3 free agent point guard behind only Chris Paul and Kyle Lowry. My full free agent top 10 list for 2021 drops soon, but for him to be ranked above Mike Conley is huge. Those teams with cap space that could pay big for Zoe are the Knicks, the Spurs, the Thunder, the Mavericks, the Heat, the Raptors, the Cavaliers, Charlotte, and the Bulls. I think Zoe could command $22 million, and the Bulls could clear space to get that. And I think his best fit would be either the Knicks or the Bulls. Both of those teams need a young, talented point guard. I know it would be a lot of fun for Zoe and LaMelo to be on the same team, but the Hornets have way too many guards already. The only way they could get that done would be like a sign and trade with someone like Devontae Graham and a pick coming back. Then the Pelicans letting Graham go in free agency. Lonzo Ball would not have become the player he is today without Fredinson in New Orleans. The luckiest thing to ever happen in his career was being traded to the Pelicans. If he didn't work with Vincent, his shot might still be broke and he'd have no real value in the NBA. Believe me, a point guard who can pass but can't shoot with a Kardashian family distraction is someone no NBA team wants. Now though, he's about to make life-changing money as a free agent after spending a little time in New Orleans. His decision at this point, do I take my skills somewhere else and try to be a bigger star, or do I continue to take a back seat to Zion, who's now going to run the show going forward in New Orleans? Let me know what you think in the comments. I think Lonzo should stick with what's working and continue throwing lobs to Zion. We'll see what happens with Lonzo. It would be a shame because they are building something, especially his partnership with Zion, who I talked trash on earlier this year. But I was so wrong. This video right here explains the gigantic thing I missed about Lonzo's teammate Zion.